My name is Hemant Nitturkar. I am the project coordinator for a new project called Building an Economically Sustainable Integrated Cassava Seed System in Nigeria. This BASICS project is a unique project which is trying to build a sustainable seed system. There have been seed systems projects in cassava before, but the focus of those projects have been to increase the adoption of a new variety or popularizing a new variety. So the focus was giving away some stems. But this particular project, it is not focused on one particular variety or this variety or that variety. It is trying to build a system which any variety which is suitable in a particular area, how the system, a locally sustainable economical system, multiplies the stems and makes it available at the right time, at the right price, at the right location for the farmers to utilize these new varieties or improved seeds. This is project focused on cassava and in Nigeria to start with, but based on, because as I said, this is a unique project which is looking at building a sustainable system. So we are looking at local entrepreneurs taking up the production, the distribution of new varieties and making them popular. So we are looking at local ecosystem to take over stuff which has been done in the prior years by various projects. So it is focused on cassava, but we'll be taking these learnings across to various crops of importance like yam, sweet potato and other crops. And because the problems in vegetatively propagated crops like cassava are unique, crops like maize or sorghum are different. They are grains. They could be produced in some area and transported to large areas. The seed rate required for unit area is much lower. But in crops like potato or sweet potato or cassava, it's vegetatively propagated. So the volumes of the seed material is very large and it cannot be transported over long distances. So it has its unique challenges. We are doing two unique projects. One is, we call it as village seed entrepreneurs. We are identifying good cassava farmers in local areas and we are turning them into cassava seed multipliers. We are training them what entails as a seed entrepreneur. So one farmer will be becoming a cassava seed multiplier and selling his stems to the farmers in a radius of say 50 or 100 kilometers maximum. So such village seed entrepreneurs, we are developing about 200 village seed entrepreneurs across south and southeast in Nigeria. That is one part. It's a community seed production system. Community-based seed production plan through village seed entrepreneurs. We have another system which is called as processor-led model. So we are working with large processors who require a certain type of varieties. Say for example, somebody who is doing cassava flour, high quality cassava flour, or somebody is doing biofuels, or somebody is producing gari. So different varieties have characteristics which lend them to be as more suitable towards flour or gari or ethanol production. So we are working with these processors and giving them these varieties which are better for their usage, and we expect them to multiply the seeds and give it to the large outgrower who supply the roots to them. So these two varieties, two systems are being tried parallelly, the village seed entrepreneur model and the processor-led model. As I said, the projects before have been to popularize new varieties and the seeds were given away. This is a new project, it's only about 6 months old right now, and it has been a very well received project where the kind of support or kind of enthusiasm we are getting from cassava farmers to become village seed entrepreneurs is very good. I'll tell you one example where in Umudike region, there is a group of farmers which is led by a widow, and she has formed a group of widow farmers, and there's a farmer group that has been formed and they have become seed multipliers. So they intend to multiply cassava stems and they want to sell their stems as an economic activity. So they were very excited when they heard of this opportunity and they want to become seed multiplier. Farmer groups or women entrepreneurs or youth entrepreneurs who want to become cassava multipliers, we are supporting them with the technology and with the training to become a business entity to multiply stems and sell the stems in their local area. Cassava is a very important crop in Nigeria. It is grown over more than 3 million hectares, and it is grown by about more than 3 million farmers, and Nigeria is the largest cassava producer in the whole world. So cassava is very, very important. But then if you look at the other side of the story, how well is cassava grown in Nigeria, we have some challenges that we can foresee. I told you it is grown in the largest area, and Nigeria is the largest producer, but the productivity is amongst one of the lower ones. So it ranks about 62nd according to FAO. The average yield is anywhere from 8 tons to about 12 tons per hectare, whereas the possibility is anywhere from 20, 30, 40, even up to 80 tons per hectare. So there is a huge opportunity loss that is happening right now if we increase the productivity. There are 3 important things that can go into the productivity being low. It could be the improved seed, it could be the improved weed control, or it could be the improved agronomic practices, which includes the pest and disease control, or the soil management, or the water management and all that. We are not 100% sure on how much each of these 3 things contribute towards the yield, that is yield gap. But even if, for argument's sake, if we say that seed can contribute 30% of the increase in yield, weed management, proper weed management can add another 30%, or proper agronomic practices can add another 30%, we are looking at almost $1.5 billion annually opportunity lost by not adopting improved seeds or improved practices. So each of these 3 things are contributing to a yield loss of about $1.5 billion annually. So there is a huge amount of work to be done, and across the cassava value chain there are entrepreneurial opportunities for youth and women groups to come in and say they can multiply this improved seeds and sell to the farmers, or they can add digital technologies to spread the knowledge and become e-extension agents to take new technologies to the farmers, and the farmers can pay them because of the increased yield and increased income that they can get. There are opportunities for youth to come in to see how better gari production happens. So the conversion rate from roots to gari is improved, and the improved conversion adds to more economic output, and that can be shared by the producers and these youth. To start with, the Basics project is working with an international NGO called CRS, the Catholic Relief Services, and through them we are working to implement the village seed entrepreneur model in the Benue region. So, and we are also working with the National Root Crop Research Institute based in Umudike, and in Umudike and Umahia region, the south region, we are developing the village seed entrepreneurs in that region. And then we are working with another US-based development organization called Context. Through them, we are working with Oyo State, working with large processing companies. And to start with, as I said, we are working in these 3 regions. But once the project gets embedded, this will scale out and scale up in those regions and other regions of Nigeria and other countries as well. The major challenge in cassava seed system is the demand for seeds. Farmers are used to using their own seeds, or if they run out of their own seeds for some reason, they borrow seeds from neighbors. But the seed that they use may not be of the most potent variety that might be used in that area, or physiologically they may not be the best seed that they could put in their farm. So there is a huge need for us to tell the farmers that there are improved varieties that they can use, there are improved physiological characters of seeds that they can use in their farm, and that can add to their productivity. So the challenge right now is to convince the farmer to change their behavior and use new seeds. And to be able to make those seeds available on a regular basis, year after year at the right time, we need to see how a local ecosystem develops where farmers or youth can set up viable economic entities or business to multiply these stems and sell them. So the farmers need to get used to the idea of buying new seeds year after year. They may not need to buy the whole farm. Say for example, if they are growing cassava in 1 hectare, I am recommending them, can they use new improved bought seeds in 1/4 of an hectare, and then next year you use new seeds for another 1/4 hectare. So over a 4-year cycle, they are using new seeds and using those stems for using in the other part of the farm. So they're not buying the whole farm need, but they're buying part of the seeds. So that helps the local seed system to develop, and the farmer, they can get access to new and improved varieties year after year. We are working with two government bodies. One is called National Root Crop Research Institute, which is NASC, NRCRI, based in Umahia. They are the nodal body which is involved in improving the productivity of root crops, which includes cassava. And we are also working with National Agricultural Certification Agency, which is called NASC. They are the body which certifies the quality seeds. So we are working with both these agencies to see how improved varieties are released in the system and how the production is quality certified by NASC. So we are working with both these partners. So government is very much supportive of cassava because cassava being a very important crop in Nigerian ecosystem. The policy support is there. There is a big program called TART which is going to come in, which is funded by the African Development Bank, and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has funded this basics project, and they have funded other projects in cassava called in the weeds management, in the agronomic practices. So there is a lot of focus in cassava to improve the productivity, because as I said, it is grown on a large hectareage and it's grown by large number of farmers. So improving the productivity in cassava will impact the lives of a lot of farmers, lot of consumers, lot of youth. So and a lot is happening in this area. The farmers, there is a fantastic system of NRCRI talking to the farmers through extension agents. There is a Department of Agriculture where there is ADPs, the Agriculture Development Officers are there locally, and the basics project is working very closely with NASC, and we are building the capacities of the ADPs and local government officials in the extension area. So I would recommend farmers to have a close contact with the local ADPs, and if they have questions, they can go to NRCRI. If they have more questions, they can also talk to CRS, who works with the local JDPCs they call, so they can contact them and they could be put in touch with the people who can guide them more.